We offer data protection trainings curated to the particular needs of your organization, just to ensure that your staff is well aware and apprised of current and latest data protection practices, what is required of them from a data protection point of view. There are so many organizations that just operate without knowing what is really expected of them, which is very risky. Treating data protection as a legal checklist, just something you need to tick off of your checklist, without treating it as an actual legal risk area. It's not the best of way, or it's not the best mindset for your staff. So if you feel like maybe you are really grappling, or your staff is really grappling with these issues, especially industries that operate within spaces that process a lot of sensitive personal data, then the data protection training comes highly recommended. It can be a physical data protection training where we come to your business premises and we conduct the trainings directly from there. Just take your team through the data protection training processes. We can also get to interact one-on-one with your systems and just have that one-on-one session with your team, which can be quite beneficial. But if maybe your team operates from different places or different jurisdictions, we can also schedule a virtual training session where we can also have equally elaborate interactive sessions with your staff and team members. Prior to that, of course, we'll just try to have a very deep and intricate understanding of what your organization does. We don't just come in for the training just for the sake of it. We need to have initial meetings where we have a very deep and intricate understanding of what the organization does. Once you have an understanding of what the organization does, then we can walk through with you in terms of just coming up with a data map, just to understand the ins and outs of how data flows within your organization. It's only when we have a very deep and intricate understanding of what your organization does, the sorts of data that it collects, how it processes the same, and so on and so forth, and we ask a few questions. That is when now we can actually come in for the interactive sessions with your staff and other team members. So the initial sessions are just between us, the person who is going to undertake the training, and maybe someone from within the organization who is well versed with data flows within the organization. Once we have that initial session and we have a very deep understanding of what goes on, that is when you can actually now come to the ground and undertake the actual training session. We recommend that training sessions are staggered. We don't recommend 1 day or 2 day back-to-back training sessions. It is best that these training sessions are staggered over a period of time. If there's really no rush, we can stagger it, let's say over a month or even 2 months, such that we can have a training session every week. If we stagger the training sessions this way, we don't overwhelm participants with a lot of information all at once. Also, with staggering the training sessions, it helps us to have that one-on-one with the staff members. If they have any feedback or if there's anything we pick up from the interactive sessions, we can go back to the drawing board and just realign 1 or 2 things from the sessions, just to make sure that the training session is actually useful and informative for the team. That is what we do. We curate and tailor something specific to the organization, and not just a generic training session that we use across all our clients. No, all our training sessions are curated and tailored to a specific organization. So if you can have them staggered in that way, it really helps us learn and understand more about the organization, data flows, and just mapping out everything correctly. So if data protection is an issue that your organization is struggling with, and you really need help with the one-on-one session with your staff in terms of training them about the ins and outs of data protection, by all means, feel free to reach out to us, give us a call. We can schedule an initial free consultation, and then from there we can plan on how we can undertake the training.